Welcome back, everyone. Let's talk about setting SMART goals. Unfortunately, our Western lifestyles are not conducive to healthy living. We eat on the run, and it is often unhealthy because it is not planned, and the decision is often made under a lot of stress, which almost always leads to eating unhealthy foods. In fact, the latest data from the American Heart Association has once again confirmed this fact, and they show that less than 1% of adults in the US actually eat a healthy diet. We're not doing much better with regards to sleep, to exercise, or stress management as well. I understand that part of the problem is lack of information, or worse yet, ambiguous information, especially when it comes to diet. One day it's stay away from all carbs, and another day it's eat meat, and another day you read that bacon is back. Well, first off, all of those are false. You will learn the real and robustly supported science when we get to the nutrition section. But the main problem is actually our difficulty in creating sustainable habits across different behaviors. So the answer is not one pill or one activity, but a strategic and a very organized approach to setting goals and behaviors, which ultimately become habits. The first step in your journey towards better health is to identify your goals. I mean, clearly identify your goals. No, wait. You have to be very smart about your goals. By smart, we mean S for being specific with the behavior. It's not about setting the goal of simply eating healthy, but specifically, for example, eating less refined sugar. M stands for measurable. Measurable means quantify. For example, I'm going to eat more vegetables is not specific. But if you say, I'm going to eat 2 servings of greens a day, that is very specific. A is for attainable. Here, we're talking about making sure you set goals that set you up for success. Here's an example of a non-attainable and a really unnecessary goal. I'm going to run a full marathon in a month, given that you never ran more than 5 miles in your life. Well, here's an example of an attainable goal. I'm going to walk up to 0.2 miles a day and make sure I walk at least 3 miles in a month. R is for relevant. This is extremely important, as we will say this over and over again over the course of this NEUROAcademy. Setting your life, your goals, your activities, and even your stressors around your purpose more than anything else guarantees success. So make sure that the goals are aligned with your ultimate purpose. Here's a bad or a non-relevant goal. I'm going to do crossword puzzles 2 hours a day. If this was never your strength, or you never had any interest in the activity, it doesn't make any sense. But a good and a relevant goal is one that you always wanted to do and never got a chance to do it in the past. An example is if you always wanted to learn a new language or a new musical instrument or other activities that you were good at some point in your life and now want to take them up again and expand on them. The goal can change in the future, but for now, build on what is relevant to your purpose and to your joy. T stands for time-bound. You want to make sure that you give it time for the activity to be finished. One of the most common reasons for failed activities, which then have a strong demotivating influence on all of the other activities, is when no time limit is set. Or just as bad, the time limit is too short and you fail to complete it. So set appropriate time boundaries and make sure you meet them. Better yet, schedule it in your daily routine and stick to it. If you don't break down a particular goal by using SMART goals, you will not only create positive habits, but set yourself up for failure, unfortunately. The next thing we will discuss is knowing your stage of preparation for any given task. This is critical because then you can set appropriate goals. The trans-theoretical models of behavior change divides the stages in this particular way. For any one specific desired behavior, we could be at any given stage. The stages are pre-contemplation stage. This is when the person is completely unaware of the problem, What is important at this stage is to go over your neuro elements and define areas of your weakness. You will find out that there are areas and specific behaviors that need to be changed that you may not even be aware of. The next stage is contemplation stage. Here, the person is aware of the desired behavior change. That is all though. They're aware of it, they're just looking at it, and there's no action involved. Next, we have the preparation stage. This is where the person intends to bring about change. This is where things get a little tricky too, because most of us intend to change behaviors and many fail over and over again. So the next step, if done well, will determine if the desired outcome will become a permanent habit or not. The next stage is the action stage. Sounds like a superhero movie, isn't it? Well, in a way, it is your movie, it is your story, and you are the action hero. This is where you implement the SMART goals. Make sure that you take on actions that are specific, measurable, attainable, most importantly, relevant to your ultimate vision and time-bound. Then comes the final stage, the maintenance stage, where you work diligently, but more importantly, smartly, with success in mind to maintain the desired behavior long enough until it becomes a habit. Now, different behaviors for different people, depending on their history of success and goal setting, takes different periods of times for the behavior to become a habit. But in general, it should take anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. But first, in order to get to this final step, you have to do all this other planning that we just spoke about. There is no way around this, I'm afraid. And if you do this systematically and strategically over a period of, say, a year, you can reach your ultimate brain healthy habits across the board. I hope you can apply these strategies to your life, as we know that this kind of lifestyle plan will cross over to all the other life's aspirations as well. Good luck and live life strategically.